Hey, welcome everybody to the Really Charlie podcast. Today's guest is Marvin Speller, a.k.a. or does business as Coach M100. Love this dude. He's a life coach. Definitely got a lot of information he's going to share with us. And feel free to give him some questions. Give him one question. Give him 20 questions. I don't care. Just keep him on the line. Keep him on this podcast. Pick his professional brain, and we'll go from there. This is podcast number 3 with him and I always look forward to having him on the podcast because the information is very, very useful. How you doing, Marvin?
I'm good, man. Just getting back from OKC.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it was a great trip, man, and going out there to celebrate um, one of our closest friends, a gentleman named Kit Wakely, and his
Okay.
wonderful family. And his story, um, I could probably fill up a podcast about how much
Wow.
love and joy this man imparts onto the world.
Wow.
And
Uh,
we did a little bit of sightseeing too. But a lot of it was rest and relaxation.
Good. Well deserved. You know,
Yes,
there's many things going on in the Speller family that rest is very, very important. Um,
yes,
So
sir.
I got some information for the viewers, listeners, and I'm going to read it. Very special event for myself and a lot of people in the New Bedford community. So I just want to make them aware of these two events. So just bear with me one second there.
Okay.
Let's see here. All right, as y'all see, this is Making Musical Memories. Welcome back, Ivory Bell. Ivory Bell from Blue Magic, definitely. Oh, dude can sing. On Saturday, June 12th, 8 p.m. at White's of Westport at 66 State Road. Also, there's going to be KG Express Band. Tickets for VIPs are $25. General admissions $20, and also a dollar credit card service fee will be applied for each ticket. Ticket information, you can see Lorraine and call her at 508-776-5475, or go to Cecilia's Boutique downtown New Bedford, or call her at 508-994-3833. That's the first event. That's June 12th. Don't miss it. Good event. Tickets are very limited at this point, but give either one of them a call, Cecilia or Lorraine, and I'll be there. So you should. And the second event is a very dear friend of mine, Anthony Tobby Richards, who passed away of COVID in this past year. It's a comedy fundraiser for Tobby Richards. Music by DJ Lady K. Friday, June 12th. 8 p.m. at White's of Westport, again, 66 State Road, Westport, Mass. 02790. $20, $20 per person. It's a donation. Tickets available. You see Lorraine at 508-776-5475, or go to Celia's Boutique, downtown New Bedford. And the number there is 508-994-3833. These proceeds, actually, let me start with the comedians. The comedians are Anthony Smith, Dale Cover, and Alan Alves, and more. The proceeds will be sent to Cape Verde Islands to the library to assist children in memory of Anthony Tobby Richards. So that was a fundraiser. That's a program that he was dear to him, and his family and friends are just trying to make things happen. So, all right, my friend, let's get on with this podcast.
Let's get it.
All right, the for all the listeners and viewers that don't know Marvin Speller, we're gonna have him give a little introduction, a little bio about his professionalism, his expertise, where he gets it from, and please continue to listen And once he's done, you got some questions about lifestyles. Just give him a question on the screen. I'll put it on the board, and he'll answer it, or I'll answer it. But thanks for supporting the Really Charlie podcast. All right, Marvin. Lights, camera, action.
First thing I'm going to say is thank you for all you do. Got to give you some credit, brother. You're always doing something for other people, man. So,
Thank you.
um, so many people appreciate you, man. So I got to share the love while I share this platform with you. I appreciate all you do, and you know what? It's one of these things. Every time I see you, I'm going to tell you this because every time you're always doing this, man. It's like you and Mikey, you all represent your hometown, and you go out here and you do it, man. So I have to throw some kudos your way as well.
Thank
Um,
you.
you're welcome. On to me, um, I'm a mastery coach. I do health, life, and the main thing I coach on is I help mental health caregivers. Because when I think about last year during the COVID pandemic, mental health was through the roof,
Hmm.
and these people who are helping people, who is there to support them?
True.
There was this thing last year. They talked a lot about frontline workers, um, and there's been some things that's come out of that, right? But I wanted to make sure, as my specialty as a coach, that I would go back and support those who are supporting people who are going through mental health challenges. And I can speak to that from firsthand experience. I have been a coach for many, many years, especially from a health standpoint. But from a life standpoint, I was in corporate America for 30 years, and my style was all about getting the most out of people, and holding the space for them to get better, and what they want to do, and just to be the best version of themselves, and not for them but for others as well. So that's the main coach I have. But I've always dipped my toe into this health part of coaching. Health part of coaching has always intrigued me, and it's intrigued me because when I was growing up, I had some family members that had health challenges, and you wanted to be there as a support for them, but you really couldn't. So I started going in that direction. Didn't want to be a doctor, but I always wanted to be in the position to support people. And I knew early on, especially when I was in corporate America and I was in plenty of leadership positions, that I had the keen ability to bring out the best in people. And so I continued on this journey. And while I was in corporate America, I was always one of these type of leaders that was like, let's open a couple doorways to you instead of being this tell type of leader. It's like, hey, you got to do this, you got to do this, you got to do this. I realized early on that doesn't work for people. You get more out of people, and people get inspired by just showing them a way. That's just like if I came to you, Charlie, and was like, Marvin, and we were talking about fishing. I was like, I'm just going to go out there and fish for you, man. And I come back with one fish. And you're probably thinking to yourself, well, that's all I can get. But you can get more and you're better for it if I can teach you how to fish, right? And I
Hmm.
know people say this all the time, teach people how to fish, but I think that's the epitome of coaching. You have to teach people how to make informed decisions because, as we talked about, and we talked about this on the phone many times, it's like there are about 1,000 diets out there. And guess what? All of them work, right? If you stick to them, pretty much all of them work, right? Even
Hmm.
all the way down to the starvation diet. But nothing sticks. You know why? Because people are not selling into their why, and they have not changed their habits. And that's what any coach will tell you. It's all about habit change. It's all about
Hmm.
connecting to your why. And sometimes you got to go pretty deep to get that or extract that from people to be connected to where they want to go.
True.
So that's what I do as a coach. Um, I felt like some time ago that's been my calling. And I've coached thousands of people, especially in the field of corporate America. and that's who I was. I've jumped into some careers that I had no experience in, like the last company I was with. Um, I ran preschools out here in LA. I had no background in that, but you know what? For 7 years straight, my district had the best performance because I was able to be a coach to them. I was able to go in and tap into that one thing that makes them want to do more than what is asked of them.
Sure.
And that's man, that's coaching. And a lot of people do it. It could have been that relative you had. Every time you saw them, they always tell you something or look at you in a certain way that's kind of bringing out the best in you. That's what coaches are supposed to be about. Because if I'm dealing with you, man, sometimes it's all about just building that rapport. Once you have the rapport built, man, everything else comes pretty easy.
So true.
So that's that in a nutshell, my brother.
All right. Well, I had uh, an opportunity, along with a good friend of mine, to speak with you on a weekly basis. And basically, just, you giving us a lot of information where it was beneficial to me, and it still is because I'm still applying a lot of stuff that I learned. So
It's great, man.
I want to give I want to give a testimony, as far as to tell the folks out there that are listening that this man has done a lot of good things for me. And by speaking with him, I've definitely lowered my blood pressure. I'm
So,
trying to pay attention to what I'm eating. I'm drinking mm, the water that's needed for my body, and and there's so many other things. I took down some good notes, and I have those notes with me, and I kind of reflect on them. When I need to, apply one of the other things that you have taught me. So I just want to tell everyone that's here on this podcast with us that you practice what you preach, and you definitely have done some good things for me in my life. So
thank you,
um,
Charlie.
good. I seen this question while I was talking, and want to
Mhm.
go right to it. It says
Yeah,
health challenges often cause mental challenges. The health issues I went through caused me to focus even more on joy. So when I defeated my health issues, I am now available to help others and even more equipped. We need people like Marvin to help people brave the waters, which is,
thank you, Nathan. I appreciate that.
and that's coming from a man that had a heart transplant. So
Hmm.
that's definitely great testimony, and what do you went through it. There's nothing false about that. He went through it. He experienced it, and he's talking about it. But another good brother. Let's see this other comment here. It's solid blue sister. You
Hmm.
adapt and adjust and fall back on what you know. Good for you. Solid blue
Yeah.
sister. That's another good YouTube
Hmm.
program. She's definitely doing good things. I listened to a couple of her episodes, and I like it. I'm trying to perhaps meet up with her and get on one of her shows. So,
That's
but
great.
Solid Blue Sister, thank you for joining us, and thank you for the comments. I appreciate it, and hopefully you and I can meet up soon. Um,
Yeah.
so, the let's see. Now, what's the newest thing you've learned, if there is any new things? I know as far as supplements, because that's one of the main things that you got me on that has really been helpful to me. And actually, I want to let me just go into one that's real. What
Okay.
was it? It was beetroot, I believe. trying to check
Yeah,
it
that,
on the
that's definitely one of many.
and
Um,
the reason why I'm saying that is because um, it was that appealed to me so much, man, because it hit home, man, and I really wanted to you know have you touch base on actually we don't have to just focus on that. Let's kind of just focus on a few things that can help
okay.
someone maybe with just go high blood pressure, which is so common to us.
Yeah.
Um, what are some of the things that you would, as far as supplements that you would look into, other than we all know that we have to do some kind of you know exercising and some cardio, um, and but I'll let you speak. You're the coach, brother.
Yeah. I will say this. So a couple things. Um, when you talk about high blood pressure, um, I want to go back a little bit of a story that I have. Um, and I also want to address what was said. Falling back into what we know is one way of looking at it, but the only way we create change is being uncomfortable. And that was one of the things that I remember the first couple of weeks. I just gave you all a bunch of information, and a lot of it you never heard before, and a lot of stuff you won't find it because you have something over here that someone's talking, something over there, and then I wanted to put it all together in a nice little package for you. But at some point, I wanted to challenge your own paradigms because we have to be at a place to change what we do, and and change comes from doing something different. And I got to say that stuff is really like you have to change and do things different, and it's very 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 uncomfortable at times, right? If I
Sure.
say, you know what, I got 3 months to lose 20 pounds, right? I'm not going to do it by doing the same thing I was doing before, right? So, to answer your question directly, high blood pressure is attributed mainly to your diet, right? Some people say hereditary, but you know what the main thing, and I'm not a doctor, and I want to be clear. I'm not a doctor. I'm not trying to give doctor advice. I would always say, check with your doctor, because doctors can get you stabilized and moving forward, right?
Hmm.
A lot of times it's our lifestyle and how we do things, right?
So
You
true.
can't go from in your 20s going out here playing whatever sport you were doing. You're moving all day long, you're getting sweat, and you could down a whole pizza and you won't gain any weight.
Hmm.
You're never moving 20 years later and don't think your body adjusts to that, right?
Yeah.
Naturally, as we get older, our our blood vessels harden some from the calcium that was in our bloodstream starts to deposit back into our arteries, so it causes our arteries to become hardened, right? And
Hmm.
so it forces your blood to increase the pressure. Okay, so that's the stems from a lot of blood pressure issues. A lot of it we talked about, man. You got to get moving, and that could be walking, that could be something, right? Even if you have an ailment, you could do something. You could ride a bike inside the house. You can park an extra block away. If you live in a building that's got stairs and it's maybe 2 or 3 stairs, don't catch the elevator. Walk the stairs, man. And if you can get moving 5-10 minutes a day, it starts to, really be a big help to your body, right? Supplements. There's plenty of supplements out there, man. They always say, take your greens. One of the things we talked about was olive leaf extract, right?
Yes.
Olive leaf extract helps your blood pressure, right? And it's kind of one of those things where olive leaf extract really boosts your immune system, right? But it also lowers your blood pressure over time as well.
Yeah.
So those things, our diet, cutting back on carbs, and a lot of doctors have talked about the more we can cut back on sugar, the better our blood pressure is. That's that's everything, man.
Yes.
You know. I know we were talking about, yeah, you got to drink the water, you got to get hydrated. It's your diet, it's what time you eat, how much rest are you getting, right? Are you getting the right kind of rest? This we're specifically talking about blood pressure now, right?
Yes.
The right type of rest. And the more sleep you can get before midnight, the better your body is. Point blank. And I would always say, and this is a thing that we came out of our coaching session with Charlie. Don't believe me. Don't believe anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Verify what everybody's telling you. And that's the whole thing. That is the key to diets, right? At some point, you will make an informed decision. You may feel like, well, this diet says this, and and it says that I can only maybe have a couple cups of rice per week. I'm like, man, I need 3 or 4 cups of rice a week, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that means you may have to cut back on what you eat, right? Change it up a little bit. But blood pressure, the beauty thing about it, and I will quote Dr. Sebi. Dr. Sebi always said that in nature, nature has provided a cure for every type of disease. I fully, fully believe that. That's not what I'm saying. That's what so many people out here have said, right? But you may have to make some hard choices. You may have to cut out sugar. You may have to start walking more. That means you get up early and exercise. That may mean that I need to be more nimble.
Mm-hmm.
You can't expect the same body when you're 20, when you're in your 20s, and you're older now, and you're not doing the same things you were doing then. And the main thing you're probably doing, you got moving. And then you get in your 40s and 50s, right? And you have all these health problems. A lot of it's diet. A lot of it's because it's a sedentary lifestyle.
True.
So it looks like a couple questions come through, and I'd love to answer those, Shirley.
This DC says what do you feel about multivitamins? Which we talked about during that session that we had. So I mean, what do you feel about the multivitamins?
I think they're good. Depends on what kind you get, though.
Yeah.
Um, so I'll tell you the story. I talked to somebody that worked in they work in the sewer plants, and they said the most important, the thing that comes to the sewer plants is pills,
Yes.
because our bodies weren't meant to digest a bunch of pills, not unless they're gel caps, because if you drop some water on a gel cap, it'll start to disintegrate. But you can drop water on a multivitamin, and it's not, and the acid in your stomach, it'll start to eat away. But by the time it works through your body, you're probably only getting 20, 30%. Liquid or powder form is probably the best. Your body has a way of absorbing it.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Cool. Now, what goes along with that multivitamins is, you know, is the CMOS. In my case, I had the CMOS gel.
Yes.
And so let's touch base on that. The
Yeah.
CMOS and all the
Yeah.
nutrients from there.
Oh yeah. CMOS. Um, Probably one of the most important things you can take in your diet. Out of the 102 minerals we have in our body, CMOS have 92 of those. It's a nutrient dense product that you should have in your diet. And it does so many great things for you, especially as you get older. And we would talk about calcium, right? Calcium, as you get older, leaches out of your bones, right? Goes into your arteries, and then guess what? It starts to clog them up a little bit, makes them hard, etc. But CMOS has a way of putting those nutrients back in your body, right?
Good.
So, and a lot of this I learned from Dr. Sebi, and I read up on it extensively. I've been taking CMOS about 26 years, man, on and off about 26 years. Um, and the thing about CMOS, though, man, CMOS is one of these things where it's so prevalent in the Caribbean islands, right? And here's a gentleman that was from Honduras, right? This guy he had so much vitality. He was still having kids in his 80s, right? You see a lot of men in their 70s, they can barely walk straight, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this man's popping out children in his 80s, right? Sometimes old age is a mentality, man. I we were in OKC on Friday and we went to this restaurant. Before you asked me, the food wasn't that healthy, but it was really, really good, right? And sometimes you have to treat yourself, right? Or you don't want to go into starvation and feeling guilty and all that. This lady was 90 years old, still cooking in the kitchen. And she's been cooking in that kitchen since 1952.
Wow.
Okay, 90 years old. She's sharp as a whip and she's still cooking in the kitchen.
Wow.
90 years old.
Mm-mm-mm. The
So, oh, go ahead.
no, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, so I'm a proponent of sometimes old age is a number, right? But you have to like start today. You have to do the things to enable yourself to have really good health, right? And it's possible, and you can start today. I know one
Yes.
of the things we talked about, just a simple thing, is to drink more water. Drink more water every day, right? You can just start that and just get moving, and you'll start to feel better over time. It may be a little bit painful for you to really kind of break through some of that stiffness, though.
Um, we're gonna go right back to that water. The DC C Marissa Montero. She has a sea moss. I use the gel. That's what I like. It comes in different forms, but
Yeah.
the gel is good for me. Along
Hmm.
with my multivitamin that I am taking, I do the sea moss gel, and
Right.
it's real good. So, but I want to touch up on what I've been experiencing since you and I have talked since the last session. And one of it is one of the things I've been kind of educating people on is the water. And the
Hmm.
water, remember we talked about adding things to the water and
Hmm.
what it does to your body or what your body feels. Let's
Yes.
let's let's talk about that because I'd rather it come from you instead of me giving it in layman's terms.
Yeah. So our body is very unique. Our body will digest based on what we put in our body, right? And the gatekeeper is our tongue, right? And the enzymes our tongue releases, right? Now, you take water in its purest state, and I got some right here, right? And you put something in that, it changes the chemical composition. And so your tongue will identify it and automatically change it to food instead of like a pass through, which water is, right? To hydrate your body, right? So I would 1,000%. If you have to get some water and you don't like the taste, start out by putting fruit or vegetables in it. But just know you're not getting the full effects of water right away, and then start to wean off of them. Or if that's your beverage of choice throughout the day, while you're still doing water, absolutely put fruit or vegetables in it. But just do know that shouldn't add to what you want to take, or they say, and they talk about it, a lot of nutritionists talk about half your body weight in ounces of water per day. And you can't start that way because you're going to be going to the bathroom all the time. So you got to start small, right?
Yep.
Right. And build on, but and at some point when you're starting to do these things, your body will have a way of communicating with you, right? Your body be like, man, I'm parched today. I'm dehydrated, and you'll know. And Charlie, that was the whole thing about us having our sessions together. At some point, I wanted you to be able to speak and have a better communication to your body. That way, you can distinguish what's best for you. Maybe this diet works for me. Maybe this way of life works for me. And it starts to transcend to other things, right? And you're like, man, I went to bed at midnight last night. And I feel different when I woke up
Mm-hmm.
because I didn't have that rest before midnight. So I don't want to go into another subject, but
No,
yeah, but
I
the informed decisions is what I would love the listening audience to get from this today, is to make informed decisions, because at some point you have to be able to do this on your own.
yes. Um, Dave, I know it's Dave, but DC. Marissa Montero is actually on my page, my Facebook page, um, and she was the person we had on the podcast that you've seen, and it
Hmm.
was good stuff juices. So, Dave, I just want you to, I'll definitely talk to you after this podcast. I'll send you a message and get you in contact with Marissa for that CMOS gel. Um, so, all right, let's see. Um, I actually want to talk to you a little bit. Well, actually, I can't do that because we jump around. But we have to do another session with the Double Down Cosmetics.
Hmm.
With you and Kristen, and I like to do that again because I'm seeing a lot of new stuff, different things that you're doing. So I want to kind of get that back again. So
Okay.
maybe you know when y'all have time, we'll do that again and set up another podcast for that.
We
So
always make time for you, my man.
yeah. So on the bottom of the screen, everyone is you know it's Coach M100, and the website is on the bottom. You know, it's coachM100.com. Go there. There's definitely a bunch of testimonies, and I'm gonna read one real quick, um, so y'all know what you're dealing with. I know what you're dealing with, but I'm gonna read this little caption here. Let's see here. Well, it's not may not work there, Marvin. It's got a faded out screen here.
Okay.
So it's keep fading. All right, all right. Scratch that, everyone. But if you go on this website, he's got a home page. It's got the home page where it just explains you know what he's offering, what he gives, uh, and then there's also book an appointment, which is the best thing about that is you can put your name and information in there, and you can directly talk with the coach about any questions you have that you may not want to put on this screen right now. You may not put in this comment section rather. Excuse me. But you know, one of the tabs on the website, it's community, and it talks about community services or coaching seminars and workshops, um, along with the endorsements that I was trying to get on and talk to you about. But book an appointment is very easy. It's very easy for y'all to reach out to coach. Um, Comes with a calendar, kind of book your appointment. There's going to be a gray screen. It's obviously something that is already booked, but then there's white squares, and you click on the white squares, and you basically get in contact with coach. But he has a Facebook page, a Twitter account, and also Instagram. Um, but right now, I think if you click on the website, which is best right now, in my opinion. So DC has another comment. He says, we're gonna focus on these comments here. It says, how do you
Okay.
feel about turmeric?
I love it. As long as you
Yeah,
put you put black pepper with it to really activate it, and it's really good for anti-inflammation, which is critical while we're still going through COVID. The less you can do things or to limit the mucus and the inflammation in your body, that is a million times critical. Inflammation, right? Because there's so much information out here about COVID and what you should do and all that, but um, I would always say your immunity is everything. And
yeah,
Charlie, I know you remember we were talking about your immunity. Your immunity is everything. And, you know, I cannot stress this enough, especially with majority of people out there suffering with health challenges beforehand. COVID comes in and people get COVID and they have underlying health problems and ball game is over, right?
Hmm.
Um, I would say it's important to your immunity is everything, and that's why Charlie. I think it was the second week after we started getting into this thing of okay, let's start on a pattern. Let's start with the habits now, right? Because
Hmm.
if you're going to change things, some things have got to go, right? If you're going to bring something in and do different things and do habits, something's got to go, right? And
True.
sometimes it could be just your mentality. I see a question come up. Yes, black pepper with turmeric. It has a way of activating all the great things about turmeric.
So what do you do? Equal pots or just a little black pepper?
Most people do equal parts, um, or just a dash with both, and it seems
Okay.
to activate turmeric.
All right. We can send DC the bill. All right. We're gonna send him. We're gonna send him the bill.
Hey,
This
can you
is
do me a favor? Can
sure.
you type in my cell phone number? And
Yes.
I'll throw this out to people. 805-636-5845.
Hold on 1 second, Mama. You
Okay.
want me put it on the banner on the
Yeah,
bottom
whatever,
line?
man.
All
Yeah,
right.
whatever
So
you can put on your. You know what? I want people who have questions because, listen, man, I just want people to get healthier. And I don't really care who they listen to, right? If they can pick up something from everything that's out there or people that they can talk to, one or two things can make a difference in your life. Um, you don't have to do a full blown this and that. Sometimes it's just one or two things, right? You could be
yes.
somebody listening today, they're always drinking soda or iced tea. They feel like, yeah, I'm getting my water from that. And all of a sudden, they're like, okay, I can add more water in my diet. Great. Well, some people, it's like, you know what? I come home, I work all day, I come home, I chill on my couch, but like, okay, that may be a time. Well, can you take 10, 15 minutes and, start walking, right? And here's like the major thing we talked about, Charlie. We talked about along the way while you're doing all these things and you're changing your habits and all that. One of the things that's missing, we talked about this last Monday, was this thing on self care,
Hmm.
right? And it's not a luxury; it's a must. Luxury, it's not. It's a must. You must do things to take care of yourself along the way.
Exactly.
I don't care if you got 10, 15, 20 kids. I don't care if you got responsibilities from sun up to sundown. Carve out 10, 15 minutes and do some things to take care of yourself.
Um, I'm putting up the
No,
number. 805 636 5845.
correct.
All right. I didn't want to cut you off,
No, it's okay.
especially with that information.
Oh, no problem, my brother.
All right, let's see. Let's put that on the screen. Show it. Go back to the comments. Got the Let's see. So we got another comment here. One more, please. Apple cider vinegar.
Hmm.
Got an opinion on that?
I do. This is just my opinion.
Uh huh.
I think it has its benefits. Use sparingly. And the reason why I would say this, right? There are so many people who are nutritionists or naturopath or coaches, and some like it, some don't.
Hmm.
I like it. I will say this though, one of your keys to health is to be more alkaline. Okay. Now, apple cider vinegar is acidic. The more your body's in a acidic state, the more you're susceptible to disease. Okay. So those are my reasons why. So I would say make informed decisions by researching apple cider vinegar. Um, Dr. Bragg's is probably the most informative out there when it comes to apple cider vinegar, right? I used to drink it more in the past. I didn't see any benefits from it. I know people who have taken apple cider vinegar and it's helped their blood pressure. So it's kind of one of these things where the information is there, but there is some people on both sides of the track who see it, who like it. Some don't. Some think it's great. Some people think it's harmful. I do know I had a close friend in the past, um, and they had cancer, and they were using apple cider vinegar, and I am thoroughly convinced that it kept their body too much in an acidic state, right? So there's a lot of research there between your body being an acidic state versus an alkaline state. When your body's more of an alkaline state, your body just tends to function better, and it can fight off disease more readily. This is why when these diseases come out, some people easily drop dead, and some people stay alive. I mean, a lot has to do with your immune system, point
True.
blank.
All right. Let's see. Dave says, "Thank you for this great information. How can I get or what contains alkaline?" Hmm.
Um, if Dave, if you want to inbox me, I can easily send you like this chart of foods that are alkaline and foods that are not. Now, I
Okay.
will tell you this: it is very strict. Once you do that and you want to go down that path, you will get amazing results because it's very strict. And it goes back to what I was saying in the beginning, right? When you decide to go down this path, it's not easy. You will get great results from it, but it's not easy. And there are a lot of people who have gone down this path and they have benefited greatly from it. But
Good.
it's a habit change. Anytime you change a habit, that's just like the first time, Charlie. I'm sure you went out here. Well, maybe not you because you're a pro, my brother. But just like first time riding a bike, were you any good at it? Right? I
No.
mean, you think about it. Anything, man.
Yeah.
Um, it's that whole thing. You start out something, practice makes perfect, and so many people have said that to us throughout our lives, right? Practice makes perfect. That means doing the same thing over and over and getting good at it. Because here's the thing: you got pretty damn good at eating terrible, right? Anybody out here, right?
Yeah.
You practice that, right? Day after day eating crappy, right? And expecting great things from it's just not gonna happen.
Awesome. Awesome. So Dave, make sure don't be procrastinating. You got these great questions. Make sure you inbox Coach Marvin Speller. He's just hit him up on Facebook, send it to him, and also you have the number on the bottom screen, um, on the bottom line there. So um, the one of the things I'm very happy that you offered myself was to get a group of people together and have those sessions,
Hmm.
coaching sessions on Zoom. And is that something that you're still offering? Where a group of people, like say, David, and some of his friends, kind of meeting on a Zoom.
Yeah.
You still offering that?
I'm gonna start the next one in July
Okay, all
for
right,
sure.
yeah, Dave, that's definitely something I recommend. Especially you can get you and a few others, and you basically just do that session. We were doing it every Saturday. Dave's got a crazy schedule, so um, but it's water under the bridge. So who came up with Coach M100? What's the definition of it? You
Yeah.
know,
Um,
yeah,
I was thinking about it. I was thinking about an alternative name, right? Not just Coach Marvin, whatever. We'll do something different, right?
yep,
Um, and a lot of people call me M, right? I mean, I've had so many different names over the years, right?
Mm-hmm.
Some good and some not so good, right? But a lot of people have kind of settled on M, especially like on social media, M, right? I think even my wife is starting to do that, right? Besides calling me
Uh-huh.
honey. And I appreciate her coming on today.
Yes,
Um,
yes.
and so I was like, okay, you got the coach part, you got the M. And then I was thinking about one of the things I did even before I became a certified coach. Man, I was always trying to get people to laugh. And I learned this thing when I was with the early childhood education field. Children laugh on average of a couple hundred times a day. And you wonder why collectively they're more healthier than adults, right? Because you got to ask yourself that question. How is that if their immune system's still developing and ours is supposed to be intact? How are they more healthier than adults,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
Some of it is laughter, right? Laughter and those endorphins gets going, and when your laughter brings about a certain state in your body, right? A healing state. The opposite of anger. Anger brings makes your body more acidic, and anger and contempt and worry. You know what that does to your immune system? It crashes it. Laughter uplifts your immune system, right? So it's a simple concept, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I was observing these children, man. I was like, and I heard this before I even joined. But I'm like watching these children, man. They're laughing all day, having a good time. When I was there early, and I was like, okay, cool. So I started telling people that even before, I went back to school to get certified to be a coach. I was like, okay, yeah, try to get your 100 laughs in. Try to get your 100 laughs in, right? So that thing stuck, right? So I put them all together, right? You got coach, you got the M for Marvin for short, and then the 100 is like you should be getting your laughter in. And even so much, one of my nightly rituals is to I have to laugh before I go to bed, man. And so that last half hour, I gotta find something, man, on the internet that's just funny.
Wow.
Um, and the funniest thing I love to look at before I go to is Ask Steve.
Yep.
He used to have a show, and I always look at the funny moments, or I look at some of the things that he was doing, like Family Feud.
Mm-hmm.
Um, those things are funny, man, and
Yeah.
you just feel better. You feel better, when you had a good laugh, and you feel a whole lot lighter, right? And so laughter enjoyment is one of the major keys to health, right?
So true.
You can meet somebody 90, 95 years old. They're real light with it, man. They laugh, have a good time, and they don't take life too seriously, man. Their immune system's like super high.
Mm-hmm.
People walk around all day stressed and worry. Um, and these are people that get sick a lot. Worry about every little thing. Stress, argue, fighting, all this other stuff, man. It's so bad for you, man. Well, you feel like you want to get back at somebody, right? It's kind of like you drinking poison, you think somebody else gonna get sick, man. But so that's kind of the origins of that, man. And going back to what I was saying, man, the most important thing you can do, man, is how you feel every day. And this is something we should be judging either throughout the day, early morning, late at night, at some point. How do you feel? What's your state of mind, man? And get it there. You can get it there by diet. Sometimes you can just do certain things just to feel better, man.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've been laughing all my life, and thanks to your brother, you did a podcast, the barbershop podcast, and we had our own personal clown and my brother, and so
There he
he s- he
is.
said he says you want to laugh, look at Charlie Perry's hat and go Yankees. Well,
Oh
see,
man, no, he didn't for Yankees.
yeah, see, he doesn't. Well, he is the audience, but he doesn't know his audience. He doesn't know that. You know, we got a Baltimore fan here and got a Red
Right,
Sox fan.
right.
He he only rooted for the Yankees only because I don't know. I don't know where that came from. It wasn't in the family, so you know.
Hmm.
But anyways, let's get back. He's definitely made me laugh throughout my life. He's the
Yeah,
Mike. I
that's
call
what it's
him
all about, man.
Michael Epps of my family. But when you said you revert back to like Ask Steve and you know just about a week ago I was watching Kings of Comedy only
Hmm.
because I just I'm always on Steve Harvey podcast every day. I'm listening to it. So I said, hey, when I go home, I'm gonna definitely watch Kings of Comedy. And how many times have we all seen that? So you know what to expect. But man, I'm still laughing like I did day one when I first seen it.
Yeah, I
Just
mean, yeah,
and
it's everything, Charlie. It's everything, man. You feel lighter, and you put your this is your temple. This is the only one you got.
hmm
So you got to do things to put in this most optimal state, to work the way you need it to work, right?
true.
That's like being proactive. That's being proactive and taking responsibility. Not put that anywhere else, whether it's the doctor or whatever you believe in, etc. You got to put the responsibility back on you. Now, you're starting to eat better, exercise, be around good people, laughing and having a good time. You put yourself in a state where your body is best serving you, right? And that's everything, man. That's everything. I mean, it's a simple but not easy.
Yeah, it's the setting that time is very you know setting that time is very very important. And just got to set that time for yourself to do those good things for you. Because when you're first starting out, you have so many other bad things that you may be doing. Whether
Hmm.
it's not walking, not getting flexible, not eating right. So you have all those things. So if you can at least get that one, that third, if you can get that third of just setting that time to do what you have to, um, it's key. And it's key for me, and I still struggle with it from time to time. To be more consistent with it, and I wish I could, but
Right.
I can if I just put my mind to it. We had another gentleman last week and a half, JT, and JT was on here from JT's Chronicles, and he talked about a list that he had on his little light board that was behind him, and what was his goals for the day.
Hmm.
And he didn't he consistently goes by that script, and he says that his life has gone a lot better since he's been doing things like that. Um,
There you go. That's what I'm
yeah.
saying. That's the habit change, right?
Yes.
Right. And it's a pain in the ass to get started, right?
hmm
I'm not even going to pretty this thing up. Not going to make
Yeah.
it pretty for you. But the outcome is highly desirable, right?
Yes.
Right. You know, I read my affirmations before I go to bed, and when I wake up in the morning, right? Charlie, do you know how long it took me to get to that point? To start doing those affirmations, I must have tried like 10, 15 times, man. Right?
yeah.
Right? And so I decided to kind of get out of my way. That's it, man.
Wow.
Sometimes you get out your way and start doing things. You're like, you know what? I just need to focus on the outcome instead of like the day to day, right? You
Yes.
looking, you looking at 10 days later. You're like, okay, I'm starting to form a habit, right? But then
hmm
the thing about it, Charlie, and what we talked about, sometimes, man, you got to celebrate that progress, man. You got to celebrate. Okay, wow. Hey, I wanted to drink 5 bottles of water today, but you know what? I got two in. Okay, so I'm like, okay, celebrate, right? And And that's the thing about the accountability partner, right? And that was the thing I was pushing you guys on. I was like, okay, fine, you wanted to do five, but you got two. Okay, boom, high
Yep.
five to that, man. That's everything, man, along the way, because that's what builds habit change, right? Along the way, because you are not going to just all of a sudden information you get absorb it and apply it. It just doesn't work that way.
True. True. Pandora asks, Coach Marvin, are you in Santa Monica, California?
No, I live north of that, out in the valley in Woodland Hills, which is about 20-25 miles away. Well, that's if there's no traffic, right? And traffic's almost back to pre-COVID now, so it could be an hour, it could be 25 minutes.
Yeah. So, uh, and So Blue Sister says daily affirmations are important to the mental well-being. So true.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because something else is going to fill that clutter in your head. All this other stuff that we hear, all these impressions and things that we get, right? It's all it is really taking a hold of you and having to have habits that work best for you. But the mental aspect is critically important.
Yes. Let's see. All right, Coach. What I want to do is, in conclusion, talk about something that you will really want to express and get out there to the Really Charlie podcast and its audience. And you know, I just want that maybe you've always gave us a good message after every session. Trying to get us in gear and self doubt, which that's the one thing I liked about you, and you just touched on it. You know, we like to put that self doubt on our progression, and you were able to stop most of us between myself and our friend. And I appreciate that. But just give us a message from the coach. Give us a pep talk, anything.
Yeah, I think the most important thing, as I was talking before, I mean, this is your temple. Take care of it. And and even if it feels like it's so much as that light at the end of a long dark tunnel, sometimes it's that first step along the way. Take that first step, you know,
But
and it could be something as simple as like I'm doing it. If it can't be for yourself right away, find something else. It could be a family member. It could be like I need to be my best version of myself to support somebody else. Even if you're not at the point where you're not feeling well, the best about yourself, then you have to do it for yourself. Just take that step and and this is the most important thing I can tell you. When you think you can put it off and you think you have enough time to get to it later, you don't. Point blank. And I'm telling you from somebody who I was in the hospital for a week last year. And had I not done supplements or even taken some supplements on my way to the hospital, I wouldn't be here today. So I'm telling you all right now, if you think you have enough time, you don't.
I, I, I used to love when you said, read your body, listen to it, listen to your body. It's telling you something.
Absolutely.
You know.
Absolutely. Charlie, we were talking about it. I know we got a short period of time. You and I would talk about it. It's like your body talks to you all the time. Now you're sitting there, you're 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon, you're super tired. That could be many different things. Maybe not getting the proper rest. What are you doing? Your rituals, the last hour. What are you doing when you first wake up in the morning? Um, I know one of the things that I'll leave everybody. Drink a glass of water when you wake up in the morning to get your body active and going.
So true. I do that every day. It's one of the first things I do. Um, the Let me just touch on this. Now, everyone, please review the bottom line. It's Coach's website is also his telephone number, 805-636-5845. That's 805-636-5845. Get in touch with him. Reach out to him on Facebook. You know, Join his page. Got questions? Can inbox him. Definitely keep in touch with him. Network with this young man so he can help you along the way. DC says, I just want to say before the show ends that if you were trying to inspire people, you did it. Worked. I think you says I thank you for that. Greatly appreciated. Um, and Marvin, just to give you a heads
Thank
up
you.
on DC, great man, lifelong friend of mine, um, and I trust him with anything I have in my life. Anything. If I had something that I wanted him to hold, I give it to him, and I never have to worry about it. That goes
Yeah.
with my words, my conversation, my possessions. Definitely a solid dude. So when you all hook up, I just want to let you both know that you got genuine people just like yourself
Thank you.
when you guys have that conversation. So,
And thank you for that, Charlie. Charlie, do I have like a minute? I wanted to say one more thing.
no, you can keep on. You want to
Okay.
continue on? Go ahead.
Yeah. Um, I grew up, watching my mom serve the population. She was a nurse for over 50 years. Um, I had a grandmother that used to take care of the community. So, this is kind of where I come from, man. And, as I got older, I started saying to myself, we all need help. And I don't care who you are. And that's why I get inspired. And I think that's why we connect so much, Charlie. Charlie, you're out here helping people. And this is what I do every day, man. And I'm out here helping the community, through our nonprofit and all. But I will say, everybody needs help, and if people have a specialty, just go ahead and just try to help people because, especially this health piece, man. I'm like, if I can continue to impart that to people and help them, and like I said, don't wait. Just ask the questions, get the help, be curious, right? Question. Hey, what is this? When you go to your doctor and you know you're only going to see him for him or her 10, 15 minutes max, right? They're shuttling people in and out all day long, right? So they really can't give you the dedicated time. Ask the question. Hey, doctor, I've noticed this. If I try this, what will it do? That's all I have my dialogue with my doctor. Hey, listen, I want to do this, and by this time, I want to get to this point. What do you do? Right? Challenge everything. Challenge everything you read. Right? Like I said, don't trust me. Check it out. Go ahead and check it out, and that way you become very informed with what you want to do. There may be some things you may not be able to find. That's where you can ask me questions and stuff like that. And I know Charlie, you asked a lot of questions early on. I was like, hey, you got this. If you try this and this and that, and it's really the best way to go, man. Because I like what you did. You were like, okay, my body's talking to me now. We're having a great conversation. It was like, okay, Charlie, if you eat this right now, your body's like, if you eat this right now, guess what? The rest of the day, you may have to do a fasting for 24 hours, right, to get your body right back to where you need to be, right? So,
Hmm.
it's all those things, man. Listen to your body and, um, you know, take good care of it.
Always a pleasure. This is this is this is genuine. It's what I expect from you. This is what I expect from you. The comments that we got today was definitely stuff that I expect in response
Yes.
to what you're giving. All the information it's just it's beneficial and as we said in the first podcast, come back. Second one, we said come back. This is the third one. I'm saying, Coach Marvin Speller, come back. We
Yeah.
can do this again,
Do
and
it again, man. Do
without
it
a
again.
without a contract, I'm just saying let's do this every month,
Yeah.
every bi-monthly, whatever it may be. But we got to
Yeah.
continue to do this because, as you remember, or as you see on on the comment section, there's new people there. So you
Yeah.
reached a whole new audience, and
Great.
and so and hopefully a whole new bunch of contacts too.
Yes. Thank you. I'd love to get this link to this, Charlie, after
Yep.
this. So. Got some
Okay.
folks that want to see it too. But thank you, Charlie, for providing the platform, not for me, but for others to try to get to be the best version of themselves.
Exactly. Well, you're the best, brother, and
Take from
I,
you, brother. My love to you.
and be going to California next year, 2022. It's already being arranged, so we
Good.
definitely gonna be touching base, you and I, and the family, and
Okay.
so all right. Talk to the
All right,
wife
my brother.
about talk to the wife about bringing Double Down Cosmetics to the Really Charlie podcast, and we'll get that on the
We will,
show.
my brother. Okay. All right.
Take
Stay
care.
healthy, man. All
All
right.
right, you too. Bye bye.
Okay. All right.
All right, everyone. Thank you. Thank you. Man, this is, you guys are thanking me. Solid Blue Sister, thank you for tuning in. And I will catch your YouTube channel and your shows also, so I can definitely give some input. And I want to join one of those Zoom meetings also. So, but feel free if you'd like to come on my show and be a guest, we can set that up. Right now, the next 3 or 4 weeks are pretty locked. But definitely after that, we need to get you on this show so you can talk what you have to, talk that talk. Um, Pandora, my good friend. Thank you, Charlie, Marvin. Great show. Yes, it was. Thanks for all the input, everyone. This was definitely um, a great podcast, especially when your dear friends are on it. So stay tuned. I will be back on the Really Charlie podcast tomorrow. Same time, 7 p.m. My guest is going to be John Paul, the mortgage reducer. You definitely, if you got a mortgage, you got to tune in tomorrow. You definitely have to save yourself and your family some money. Please tune in to this. It's going to be a great podcast with a lot of information for you, and a lot of and a person to go to, a go-to person. Everyone wants that go-to person. Well, John Paul, the mortgage reducer, is your go-to person. So he'll be on tomorrow at 7 p.m. So please stay tuned and join me on the Really Charlie podcast. The Really Charlie podcast is brought to you by StreamYard, Anchor, Spotify, Facebook, and YouTube. Please like my YouTube channel, subscribe to it, where you will see all these wonderful podcasts. My podcasts are trying to be educational and inspirational, and at this point in this show is beneficial, you know. So I'm trying to bring it to you. Every day of this week we'll be on the Really Charlie podcast. So please, if you got the time, tune in. All right. Love y'all. Be blessed. Stay blessed. Love y'all. God bless to the family. And I'm going to actually end with one more last reminder. And it's going to appear on the screen right now. Making musical memories. Welcome back, Ivory Bell. Ivory Bell, Blue Magic will be here Saturday, June 12th, 8 p.m. Whites of Westport, 66 State Road, Westport, Mass. Also, KG Express Band tickets, VIP $25, which is very limited. May not have some. And the general admission would be $20. If you use a credit card, $1 will be assessed to your credit card. Ticket information, see Lorraine at 508-776-5475. And also you can go to Celia's Boutique, downtown New Bedford, or call at 508-994-3833. And another friendly reminder, the comedy fundraiser for Tabby Richards. Music by DJ Lady K, Friday, June 25th, 8 p.m., also at Whites of Westport, 66 State Road, Westport, Mass. $20 per person. The donation. Tickets available. See Lorraine at 508-776-5475, or go to Celia's Boutique, downtown New Bedford, or call her at 508-994-3833. The comedians will be Anthony Smith, Dale Cover, and Alan Alves, and many more. Proceeds will be sent to Cape Verde to the library to assist children in the memory of Anthony Tarvey Richards. Rest in peace, my friend. We dearly, dearly miss you. I wish you were a guest on this podcast. Definitely miss you. Whew. Tears coming down my eyes right now. I miss you. Take care, everybody. See you tomorrow night, 7 p.m. on the Really Charlie podcast. God bless.